think the 2000s in tech were about the web and open source, whether you're looking at consumer, enterprise. The 2010s were about mobile and cloud. I would argue the 2020s are poised to be about embedded and wearable and automation, AI, whatever you want to call it. What do you think the main story of 2020 is going to be tech-wise, and who's poised to take best advantage?
Definitely the right question. Agree, when you were posing that, the first word that popped in my mind was wearables. Automation was the second piece. And to answer your question, who is well poised for that? I think it's a surprisingly a company that we all know very well. I think Apple is probably best posed with wearables. Let me just quick accentuate that point, is that a year ago their wearables business, which they don't give total clarity on, grew at around just under 40%. In the most recent quarter reported, the September quarter, it grew at close to 65%. There is something going on around wearables with Apple, specifically their ability to bring those together. When you think more, as we kind of advance down other themes, you think about the two biggest areas that will be disrupted over the next decade is going to be around mobility and healthcare. And I think the healthcare piece is something that fits well within what Apple's doing. And the mobility, they even have a play there. I've been wrong on other product categories, so I want to be cautious about predicting anything related to automotive, but the company has said that they're going to play in that. So I think when you put all of this together, I know it sounds like a tired record, but ultimately I think that's the best play here is Apple over the next year.
No Apple car, no Apple TV in the last decade, Gene. I know nobody can be right all the time. John, I wonder your take on what you think the most important theme for the decade is going to be, and how much your strong buy on Alphabet, Google's parent, plays into that.
That's actually a really good question. Yeah, so over the next decade, and let's see, the next decade, really next maybe even 15 years, it's going to be about what I call the increasing cognitive capacity of software. Software is going to get cognitive, meaning it can be more autonomous. It can make its own decisions, right? You could call it AI. I think that's a decent enough acronym. But I think it's sometimes we think of AI as being some kind of sort of more science fiction kind of thing. There are very practical applications for software that can think and can make a fuzzy can conduct fuzzy logic, if right. And so I think that's by far that's the only investment theme that really is going to matter in tech over a 15-year period. And I think Alphabet does play into that. I mean, they are a leader in the area, and there are a lot of leaders in cognitive software, in AI. But Google is certainly one, and they're one that is also encouraging developers. And developers are always a great leading indicator of what's going to happen, what's going to get adopted. And with TensorFlow, their TensorFlow framework for developing machine learning applications, I think fits right there.